Hey guys, Tom here again for the Velocity YouTube channel. I am standing today not in the showroom. We're actually out on the production line in front of our trim shop because we're actually having a bit of a move around and doing some work in the showroom today. So we're doing a couple of videos out here. The first one we're doing is this awesome original Gen 1 Bronco finished in Brittany blue with a Wimbledon white hardtop. We're going to walk you around it as if you were standing here in the facility with me. Really excited to shoot this. It's a really well spec truck. Watch now. So we'll start with the paint color as always, and of course it's Brittany blue. I don't need to say tons about this, only that it still continues to be our most popular color across all of our Broncos. Brittany blue is the OG, the original, a metallic light baby blush blue. It looks absolutely fantastic, and I love it by complementing it with the Wimbledon white. Some people do the Ranger package when you have the Wimbledon white stripes, but the Wimbledon white hardtop on this one just looks absolutely fantastic. So this truck is Brittany blue. Going through the front of the truck then, let's start with the headlights. These are a Holley Retro Bright headlight. They are a brand new LED headlight. They look like the old school halogen lamp, but they are in fact using all new technology. Really bright, but also really durable and long lasting. So they're a really nice option. We do have the Ford lettering up front as well in red with the red insert, so F-O-R-D on the grille, very standard Gen 1 setup, and front chrome bumper as well. There's one at the back that matches the rear. The chrome all kind of comes together on the front end. The headlight surrounds the tops and the bottoms of the letters and that bumper just to wrap everything nicely. Very simple, very clean, elegant front end. Coming down the side of the truck then, you're going to notice quite a particular theme on this one, which is just very clean, very classic, all sort of original looking. So we've got basically chrome OE components throughout the entirety of this vehicle. Doesn't mean they're the original components from the original donor vehicle. They are brand new components, but they are OEM style components, so they look exactly like they would have looked on the original truck. I'm going to start with the wheels. These are the bullet hole wheels. They're a chrome wheel. We fit them on almost all of our Ford products, and probably about 80% of the Broncos that we build will have those as a wheel. We are actually coming out with some new wheel options soon, but I don't see these going anywhere at all. Why? Because they're super popular. Most customers request this specific wheel choice, which is really nice. They're wrapped in a BF Goodrich all-terrain tire, KO3, really good all-round tire. Doesn't give you loads of road noise. Not everybody is going to off-road these vehicles. In fact, very few people do, so there's no need to go to a mud terrain tire on a Bronco. For everyday driving on the highway, around your town, that's the perfect tire setup. Let's talk a little bit about side mirrors and door handles. These are the OEM style side mirrors and door handles, so they are, again, all new, but they look original, really nice. We'll walk backwards a little bit, and you're going to notice one of the big things, big options, is this hardtop I keep talking about. So Wimbledon white hardtop. These hardtops are made here to order for each specific vehicle. So sometimes when people see the price of a hardtop, which is $28,000, they go, oh my God, why the hell is a hardtop $28,000? Well, it's because when you order a hardtop, you really typically expect the hardtop to actually do what it's meant to do, right? You expect it to seal the cabin in nicely, fit correctly. There's only one way to do that, which is building and fitting each hardtop to each vehicle, and that obviously takes time. Time is money, right? So there's a lot of labor that goes into the actual assembly, painting, but mainly fitting of a hardtop. So that's why the hardtops are a bit more expensive than some people realize. It's only because they are fabricated and each one matches each truck. It is finished in Wimbledon white. You can do the option of having the hardtop be the body color. That would have looked nice, honestly, in Brittany blue. Would have looked nice all the way through, but this customer, they wanted something that looked really classic, and this is the classic look. It's a really cool look. Gives the truck a bit of two-tonality, and of course, Wimbledon white not being a super ice white, it's more of a cream, it just works really well. Go around the back of the vehicle then, and the first thing I want to talk about actually is that hardtop. So I'm going to open it up here so you can see how it works. Pop that through, and this rear hatch loads up. So if you just want to get stuff easily in and out without having to take the full tailgate down, you can. Really nice, classic option. Come a little bit closer, you're going to notice some things that I think somebody asked us about on TikTok maybe or something. But these catches here, metal catches, why are those there? What do they do? Well, they stop the latches, which are over here somewhere, from scratching the paint. That's something that wasn't standard from factory. It was never anything done by Ford, but it's something that we've learned over time, having built so many of these Broncos. Lots of little things on a Velocity Bronco like this that just keep the longevity and the quality of the vehicle up. So that's what those metal plates do. They're affixed, so when you shut, the latch doesn't damage the paint, which is nice. Then if you wanted to get full access to the tailgate, of course, you would lift and pull down there like that. So that's the full open area when you've got a hard top. Lots of space to get things in and out, very easy, good to tailgate, almost acts like a little bit of a kind of rain thing if you wanted to sit there and watch the game and have a few beers if you get rain on, give you some coverage. Anyway, that's what that is. We've got a couple of extra components for this truck in here. Customers having a soft top, so there's some pre-fit rails that will go with the vehicle too, just in case they ever do want to take the hard top off. You've got the floor mat there as well, bamboo weave, we'll talk about that more when we get in the interior. Raptor lining all the way through the underside of the vehicle, underside and top side where it's not painted, which is nice. And this vehicle, the customer opted for the 6-point roll cage. We'll talk about that more in a second as well, but you can see here at the back, one of the major benefits is getting those 3-point harnesses for the children that might be sitting in the rear, which is nice. We're going to take a look at the interior now. I'll open up the door so you can take a quick sneak preview before we go in. Really, really nice. This one features hickory, so some marine grade vinyl material all the way through the interior of the vehicle. Customer's vision, I mentioned a minute ago, having that soft top, being able to take off the hard top if you ever wanted to. That's the vision, is at some point they will take the hard top off through summer and use the vehicle open air and then refit the hard top, which you can do if you want to. Let's walk through the door panel. Hickory is the color of this marine grade vinyl. I really, really like hickory. I think I'm not meant to have favorites. It's like children, you're not meant to have a favorite child. I think though, my favorite color of the vinyl that we offer is hickory. It's a dark brown, but it's not super dark. It's not too chocolatey. It's got a little bit of tan in there and it just looks really nice. It's also got this really cool kind of weathered texture. And that's my favorite thing about it. I love the vinyls in general. They're super durable. They're really breathable. Talk about that in a second. But overall, they're just a really nice product. And they look like leather. That's the other thing people realize. When you think vinyl in your head, you think cheap, like sofa vinyl, like when I was at college, like the first sofa that I got donated to me, it's like a $200 sofa, and that thing sucked, and that was like a cheap vinyl. This is a really expensive vinyl, so looks really, really good. Double diamond stitch perforation, that's a really nice detail. You can choose between a classic stitch and a double diamond on these vehicles. The customer opted for double diamond just to give it a little bit more going on in the interior, and I think it works really well. We do have the billet switchgear inside, so the customer opted for the full billet interior package just to bring a little bit more high quality componentry inside. So things like this, which is the electronic window regulator, all of that's been made here on a 5-axis machine, which is only about 50 foot that way. We make it all here in house, and I'll talk to you more about some of those things. Final thing here is going to be the speaker pod, focal speaker system all the way through this vehicle. Getting on the inside of the truck, super easy by the powered side step that actuates on a little button here. So when you shut the door, up it folds, which is nice, doesn't ruin the profile of the vehicle. Let it go when you open the door and it comes down again, which is great. Seating position, of course, is really comfortable and adjustable backwards and forwards. The backrest will fold, so will the headrest. It will all move around, and you can also adjust the steering column. It's a tilt steering column by a company called I Did It. Very good, high quality, finished in this black powder coat, which is nice. Wooden steering wheel. Really popular, very classic. Mustangs, very, very popular option on those, and of course Broncos. Almost all of the Broncos, until you get into the Heritage and the Founders series, have these steering wheels. They feel good, they look great, they're very classic. The Ford logo's there too. Just all in all, a really nice option. I love the chrome spokes. Come this way and you're going to be able to see this instrument cluster. So this is a Dakota digital display. It looks like the old school Bronco instrument cluster, but it is in fact all new, all electronic. You can see the mileage there, 583. That is test miles that we put on all of the vehicles. So this customer vehicle and anything that's in the showroom, any vehicle we build gets about 500 miles on it. Road miles testing to make sure that the vehicle's tested out before it goes home, which is nice. That system though is cool because there's that small screen in there that allows you to display different information as well, like your live speed, your temperatures, your pressures, any warnings, not that you would get many. And if you did, you got a 2-year bump-to-bump warranty, but that is all there modernized. Final thing while we're kind of filming from this angle I want to talk about is that 6-point cage again. So when you go to the 6-point cage, it extends at the back, but what not a lot of people realize is it extends at the front too. So it comes down here to give the driver and the passenger extra protection as well as the rear occupants. You get this grab handle, which makes it really nice to get in the vehicle. A lot of 6-point cages, aftermarket 6-point cages, they do not do something that we do. There's not many people that make their own roll cages in-house, but we do, and that allows us to do this thing, which is just this little extra angle here. Most aftermarket 6-point cages that are just purchased and built en masse, They don't have this, and so what happens is the strut comes directly down here. What does that do? It makes it harder to get in the vehicle, whereas adding this angle just means that you don't hit it as you get in. Something super subtle, but I promise you, you would notice it if you didn't have a cage from us and you had an aftermarket cage. It's one of those things that we think about in terms of use case for the consumer, which is really, really cool. Let's spin around. I'm going to talk you through the rest of the interior from the other side. I want to talk about the insert pattern now that you can see it a little bit clearer. So this is double diamond. These little dots on here, this is actually perforation. So what those are is small holes that go through the material, give a little bit of extra breathability. So it means that it's nice for the passenger, the driver, especially on a warmer day, just helps make it breathe, means that you don't get a sweaty back or a sweaty bottom, as I would say in the UK. Really comfortable, just a nice thing, and also looks great too. I love the design. I also love the Tuffy boxes that we put in these Broncos. This is topped again in that hickory material with a nice cushion, really good for driving, just a nice placement for your arm as you're driving along. And this Tuffy box is fully lockable. There is loads of space in here at the moment. Obviously this one has a hard top, and so customer gets the benefit in the winter of being able to lock everything in the vehicle anyway, but if you didn't have one, this is important. The front of this is two switches, and these switches actually operate heated seats. That was another thing the customer chose on this vehicle. So you do have heated seats. They got two modes, kind of like a starting normal low mode, and then like a much hotter mode, which is nice. You also have two USB positions here that you can charge things from, of course. So USB 3.0 and USB-C, slot for your phone or your keys, and then two drinks holders at the bottom. The shift boot has been finished in that hickory vinyl as well. There's the Raptor lining coming in there again around the transmission tunnel, and you do have the full bamboo weave carpets on this one that match the interior, which is nice. Looking up and moving up, you've got a full AC, so vintage air AC, brand new AC system, which is really, really nice, very powerful. And especially when you have a hard top enclosed vehicle like this, the AC just makes such a massive difference. It really does give you a sort of separate environment in hotter or colder weather. And where this vehicle is going, my actual guess is that the customer will primarily use the heating function rather than the cooling, because they intend to drive the vehicle, I hope, all year round, which is really, really cool. You do have a single DIN infotainment system. This is a Bluetooth system that's hooked up to a Focal speaker system. Very powerful. There are lots of different versions of speaker systems out there. Focal are very premium. They came here, they acoustically tested all of our vehicles, and so that Focal system is actually tuned specifically for this Bronco, which is nice. Subwoofer underneath this seat too, so lots of bass if you want it. Above that are your AC controls, and I mentioned a minute ago, this customer opted for the billet interior package that we offer. So it's billet aluminum, all made in-house. Your transfer case, these levers, they also have it on there. Your AC controls, all of these are made in-house. These are not OE fitment. Same with your lights, your wash wipe, all of that stuff has been upgraded with this. I like the design of them, but honestly, it's the feel of them. Like this, that's a satisfying thing to do anyway on a Bronco, but when you go for the billet option, it just feels really premium. So it's a super nice option if you're considering that. But that's how you control the AC. You've got a dash pad finish in the hickory vinyl as well, which is nice. And then if you look up above, we have a convenience light built into the 6-point cage, but also the hard top has been finished in a really nice Alcantara too. So you've got a headliner up there as well, which just gives a little bit more kind of comfort, luxury, whatever the word might be. Anyway, it feels really nice. It looks really, really cool. Love the 6-point cage as well. And you'll see here, I mentioned before about the soft top, and then also the customer wanting to use this vehicle all the way around. We did pre-drill and put in the poppers that help with the safari top that goes in the 6-point cage. So customers got basically full optionality to do whatever they want year round. That's it for the interior. Let's talk about the drivetrain next. All right, so engine bay and driveline on this truck. Of course, it's a Velocity Bronco, so it features a 3rd generation Coyote V8. This engine is brand new. It's a crate engine from Ford. It produces about 460 horsepower. So that means this vehicle will do 0 to 60 in about 4.5 seconds, which is really quick. Easily capable of highway driving in excess of 70, 80, 90 miles an hour, no problem. Very stable as well. We'll get onto suspension in a minute. Behind this engine is a 10-speed automatic, the 10R80, which is also a brand new crate component from Ford. Matches perfectly with the V8 and just all comes together in a really nice package. That 10-speed is super smooth operating, really nice to drive, and it means when you are doing those highway speeds, which this truck can do, you're not hitting the rev limiter, you're not at the top of the rev range, you're cruising really, really nicely. Disc brakes all round on this vehicle, Willwood disc brake system, a Hydra boosted disc brake system. In simple human terms, that means this thing stops as easily as it starts and goes, which is nice. So you've got all that modern technology there too. Another option that we touched on a little bit in the interior, but going to touch on it again, this actually has windscreen jet washers. So we don't always do that on all our vehicles. In fact, most of them don't come with them. You don't always really need them on a vehicle like this. You'd be surprised at how little you actually think about those, but some customers do ask for them, and this particular example, customer did want those added. So these have been added there, and they run a system, so the windshield can get jet wash on a button too, which is really, really nice. Underneath this truck is a brand new Roadster Shop chassis. Really, really great chassis platform from the guys there. We do everything. If you've seen these videos before, I always wax lyrical about the guys at RS, and this customer opted to do this spec. Really, really nice. Just is extra rigidity. Nice to know that everything on the vehicle is brand new, etc., etc. Bilstein suspension on this one as well. So, like I said, this thing can go fast. It can go smooth. It can also corner really well. Sway bars underneath, especially important with that hard top. You've got extra weight back there. We actually design and use a slightly different variant of a suspension setup when we do the hard top because of the extra weight. But anyway, really nice driving truck. It's just going to be all-round modern drivability every day, which is exactly how the customer intends to use it. We're not going to drive this truck today. It's actually a customer-owned vehicle. This one was spec'd from conception and went down the assembly line, built specifically for one customer. It's heading to the northeast of the US. A really good example of what we do best. Brittany Blue, first generation Bronco with a hard top, a ton of different options. We can build one just like this for you though. So if you haven't been on the website, go check that out. We've got a full configurator on there, which is a tool where you can pick and choose all your options and all your colors and get a quote and things like that. If you're watching on Instagram or on YouTube, please leave us a comment below if you've got any questions. And of course, if you want to ask us anything at all, actually the best thing to do is just give us a phone call. The number is on the website and also in the description below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.